How's it guys, Munash here, and today we have a very special Alliance War video because this is going to be the first time using the new Guardian. So I took him up to rank 3, awakened him in SIC 200 just before this war started, and just based on their placements, mainly the Weapon X boss, this just felt like a good opportunity to try out the new Guardian. And joining him will be the newly awakened Mr. Negative and Archangel. So as you can imagine, I had a lot of fun during this war. I mean, these are pretty much all my favorite champs of each class, and I got to do several fights during this war, which hasn't been happening much this season. Usually I'll do about 4 fights if I'm taking the boss, because I'll end up being back up in one section. So we've got a jam-packed war to get through. I'll be covering 7 fights in the next 10 minutes. So starting on part 2, we have a green Goblin with Strike Counter Fury and Power Struggle. So I'm just gonna use Archangel. I figured he should work pretty well for this fight. I just gotta remember how to parry so I don't get hit next time. Now, one major thing I overlooked in this fight is Green Goblin's ability to lower power gain. It just didn't cross my mind that it would also work on aspect of evolution. So when I pushed him to 1 bar, I only got about 2/3 of a bar of power, and I was like, oh crap, that's right, power gain reduction. Yeah, this could be a bit problematic if I wanted to manage the Fury stacks, but fortunately I do have an extra 1200 block proficiency thanks to Guardian, so I'm not even taking that much damage when I parry. It's only the non-parried block hits that do about 2000. So I just did not do my homework adequately enough for this fight. Looking back, I should have used an advanced power boost to manage the Fury stacks a lot better, but the combat regen did help mitigate some of the damage I took. But besides getting hit, it was not too bad, and now we're gonna move on to the next fight where we have a Dr. Doom with Strike Counter Fury, Brute Force and Power Focus 1. I don't know when last I fought a rank 3 Doom. It seems like everybody has a rank 4 on defense now. So as usual, we're gonna be using Negative for this fight, but this one is gonna be a little bit more risky to the usual Negative versus Doom fights. Because of Strike Counter and me not starting with 1 bar of power, I am gonna let him build up a bunch of Fury passives, just so I can build my special too. So I just gotta make sure that I don't get hit or just don't take too much damage. So I get the first set of Dark Energy, and now the Furies are starting to stack up. Just gotta carry on and parry a few times to get more light before I convert the rest of it. And then I had a weird missed or dropped input here where I just basically froze and allowed him to hit me. And fortunately he actually dropped the heavy attack, which is usually not a good thing, but here it was actually quite helpful because knockdown converts my energy. So now I have 16 dark, which is enough for this health pool. So now all I gotta do is dex 1 more special 1 and just watch him lose about 8% health per second. Alright, so not too bad, and now we're gonna move on to the center where we have a Mangog, a fairly new placement. I've never seen him placed here before, with Power Snack, Outlast and Backup Recovery. So once again we're using Mr. Negative because he just works really well for these nodes. Good enough Mangog counter as well, nothing too particular about him in this fight. Just gotta drop that juicy special 2 and just watch out for the unblockable stuff. Bait special 1 of course, because that special 2 can be quite annoying, especially if he gets 10 charges and goes unblockable, because that is one special attack that is not fully dexable. And of course he has Unfazed, which is why I used the invulnerability boost here, because I kind of expected it. And I am going to be parrying that last hit of the special 1 to build more light energy. I was considering getting hit by it just to convert my light into dark energy so I don't have to worry about Unfazed with the evade. But it just felt weird to try to get hit, like I'm not used to doing that in war yet. And the special 1, I don't really like using it to be honest, just makes the fight slower. So I figured let me just evade to convert 1 more time, but this time he does have 1 bar of power ready. But he didn't want to throw it in time, so I had to make sure I give him enough space for me to see him dash at me, so I can hold the heavy attack without worrying about him throwing a special 1. And I did push him to 2 bars of power, but at 50% he triggers Backup Recovery, which triggers the power gain, which means power reversal thanks to the Petrifies. And finally he does get to 10 charges, which means Unstoppable. And I could have removed it simply by intercepting with my special attack, but I decided to be patient, and one thing I shouldn't have done at the end was evaded. Not very smart, I just forgot about Unfazed, but fortunately nothing bad happened. Alright, and now we're gonna move on to the first Guardian fight, which is gonna be a kitty Pryde with Mixmaster, Power Focus 1 and Aggression Prowess. So I've never seen Kitty Pryde on this node before, but I was never really worried about it since I'm using Guardian. And he's rank 3 now, so I was feeling extra confident. And what's funny is Guardian is a slow your roll champ, so he could have applied a slow debuff on her to stop the evade. But I never bothered because it's just a very simple fight either way. You can just prevent evade by alternating your combos, and it's not hard to anticipate. Like, you'll often see me parry after she evades and tries to hit me. So I'm just doing my 2 special 1 rotation, which was probably a bit overkill for this fight. 1 special 1 might have been enough. I'm just not very used to using a rank 3 Guardian yet. I mean, this was the very first fight he's ever done before. So I just gotta build up to that special 2, and that should be way more than enough to take her out. I mean, she already has less than 50% health, so yeah, I could have avoided that first special 1. But at least it makes Guardian look even more overpowered for this fight. And she went down in just less than a minute. So that was a pretty fun section 1, and the fun did not stop there. Next in section 2, I just have 1 fight to take care of, which is going to be a man thing with steady build-up Unblockable and special burst lockdown. So this is going to be a very clean, sort of textbook Mr. Negative fight. He's going to go down pretty quickly, and I'm only going to do about 10 to 12 hits. So I use an advanced power boost to help with that, and what I'm going to do first in this fight is parry a couple of times, just to build at least 8 light before I convert. Not gonna hit him or anything like that, just gonna parry a few more times. First hit will come from the evade. Then I'm gonna start dropping shortened combos, just about enough to get to 2 bars of power, while still parrying to build energy. Then once I have 12, evade convert into special 2, drop it with just 11 hits on the combo, 21 degens, and just look at how fast his health is depleting. I don't have to do anything anymore, I can just watch him melt away. Parry, and boom, he goes down. That was very satisfying, I must say, and a nice way to end Mr. Negative's contribution for this war. So now we're gonna move up to section 3, where we first have to deal with a Stripper Storm with Rage, Extend, and Return policy. So last fight for Archangel, and he's gonna get a pretty big boost to his power level here. For we are entering this fight as a Horseman of Apocalypse, thanks to my boy Moy who dropped the pre-fight here. I've never used any champ as a Horseman in Alliance War before. My Apoc is in defense, so I almost never get the chance to. I never planned on taking this fight with Horseman Archangel, so when I heard it was an option, I was like, sick, yeah, let's do it. I mean, I was already having so much fun in this war that this was just like icing on the cake. And this was another very clean fight with some pretty good high ground management. I was able to manage my combos to remove the altitude charges without blocking much. And the combat regen boost, which lasted about halfway through the fight, allowed me to stay at full health. That's the only boost I used since this is a rage fight, so I don't want to hit too hard. So another quick and satisfying fight, but this time with Archangel. And that's his last fight, but it didn't have to be, because as a Horseman he would actually be a very good counter for the Weapon X boss. I think he would actually be faster than Guardian, but fight time really didn't matter at this stage. So I just stuck with the original plan since that was the fight I was looking the most forward to. And Guardian is a really good counter for Weapon X for a couple of reasons. I did however make one slip up in this fight, very early in it as well, like the fight had barely started. I tried to punish his heavy attack, but I went in just a second, in fact not even a second, just a frame too early. And he countered me because he was still unstoppable at that time. And he dropped a full combo, which is quite annoying. I did have invulnerability, so I only took 2 hits really, but it doesn't help you against damage over time. However, Guardian at max sig does have some pretty thick bleed resistance, so I'm barely losing any health with willpower. So now he's about to go berserk, and this is where the real fun begins, because he becomes a lot more aggressive, I guess fairly predictable as well. Just gotta land that initial intercept and then it's pretty much smooth sailing. I do like using light attacks to intercept against Weapon X. Another reason why Guardian is so good for this fight, he can block unblockables. I wasn't even trying to showcase that utility, that was just an accidental parry to be honest. So good thing I'm using Guardian because that could have been another annoying combo. So now I'm building up to 2 bars of power, but I'll need to wait for Berserk to go into cooldown before dropping the special 2, otherwise it'll just regen a lot. So a special 2 with 7 charges takes him down to 44%, so I just gotta repeat this process one more time and he should go down. He doesn't heal as much when he's not Berserk, so you can actually do some meaningful damage while you ramp up again. So the second part was a bit smoother than the first, but overall not bad with Guardian. Unfortunately, we did end up losing this war. It was just New Nation's turn to win. And I say that because we faced each other 4 times in the last 2 seasons, and we've each won twice. But despite the loss, I gotta say that this was the most fun I've had in war in quite some time. Just based on the fights that I had to do and the champs that I got to use. Absolutely love all 3 of these champs, and I can see myself taking them all to rank 4 one day. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys found this interesting, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.